It is nearly impossible to drive this car gently off of the line. It wants to go straight away, which has not been ideal at traffic lights because everybody thinks I'm starting a race. This week I've had people point and stare, I've had people stop and want to talk to me, and I've had a hell of a lot of people try and race me. And it's all because of this, the car that sold out in just 90 minutes.
This is the Toyota GR86 and it proves that the best cars aren't perfect.
Based on the existing GT86, Toyota set out to keep everything that made the GT so fun and enjoyable, and then improve upon just about everything for the GR86. I've spent a wonderful week with this back to basics budget sports car, and I've started to regret the fact that I never put my name down for one of these, because this is truly something special. But what makes the Gazoo Racing tuned GR86 so special? Well, that's what I'm going to tell you about in this video, so stick around to find out. And if car reviews is your thing, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button.
I also just wanted to make you aware that I've signed up for the website Ko-fi. Making free content for you guys every week is thirsty work and it doesn't always pay the bills. So if you feel like giving something back, then you can buy me a coffee via the link down below.
So first, let's have a hopefully as brief as I can make it overhaul on everything which has been improved upon for this new generation of car. As I mentioned, opposed to a ground-up, brand new sports car, the GR86 takes the GT86 as a starting point, and then it subjects it to a very intensive technical overhaul. Toyota targeted on keeping the GR86's curb weight roughly the same as its predecessor, along with a lower centre of gravity, improved aerodynamic efficiency and extra power. Alongside some chassis changes, it also gets lighter seats, silencer, rear prop shafts, along with an aluminium roof, bonnet and front wings. The bonnet is stiffer, and the improvements across the member fastenings and internal chassis structures have actually, in turn, improved the overall rigidity of the whole car by a whopping 50%. Drive is of course sent to the rear wheels through a torsion-limited rear slip differential and 6-speed gearbox, which has been refined to make the shifts smoother and faster than before. And then there's the engine. Like the first generation model, the 2023 GR86 comes with a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine which has been provided by Subaru. But then the unit has had its capacity increased from 2 litres to 2.4. New intake and exhaust systems work with the larger capacity, while larger intake valves are hollow for lightness. Along with thinner cylinder liners and resin rocker covers, it all means that the engine isn't just lighter than before, but it also is more responsive and potent. Power now stands at 231 brake horsepower and torque is up by 45 Nm to 250. But there is actually evidence to suggest that Toyota were perhaps being a little bit modest with those power figures. The GR86 has been rigorously dynoed by many people, and it's estimated that the engine produces a figure far closer to 250 brake horsepower. That's more than 25 brake horsepower over Toyota's original claim. No wonder the GR86 can launch from 0 to 62 in just 6.3 seconds, compared to the 7.6 seconds of the GT86. The steering has enough weight to feel precise. Body lean is also minimal, and the GR86 feels light and nimble as it goes from corner to corner. It's quite easy to reach the limits, but the predictable responses let you have some fun while staying in control. Styling is just so spot on. There's no wonder that this has been such a head turner.
Compared to the predecessor, all of the bodywork is new, despite embodying a similar shape. The 86's low nose and sharp creases on the side make it look extremely appealing, and the wide grille is completely functional, as well as big air vents at the front and sides of the car to improve airflow. It's just a very clean design, and that continues around the back with a ducktail spoiler and great big twin exhausts. The 18-inch wheels are also designed to look like Japanese swords, which is pretty cool, and they're wrapped in a new set of tyres.
There is just something about this car which just encourages you. It's now on some much more capable tyres, which mean it's better for every day and not just track. But ever since I've stepped in this car, it's just eager to get going, and at every traffic light it pulls off really quickly, almost a bit too quickly in the fact that everybody thinks I've been trying to race them, and straight away it just wants you just to get enough power out of this car to get a fantastic engine note from the exhaust, which is quite surprising actually, because when you kind of even out your speed and you don't demand so much from it, the car quietens down, and especially when you start it up, there's not such a loud noise from the exhaust. But at low speeds, when you're working through those lower gears, it really does have quite a tune to it.
While the GR86 is 300mm longer than one of its closest competitors, the Mazda MX-5, it's still only roughly the same length as a Volkswagen Golf. At 1775mm wide, it's also narrower and only 40mm broader than the Mazda. Both of these things make it feel like the perfect fit on twisty country roads. That just doesn't equal much space.
Let's face it, practicality probably isn't high on your priority lists when it comes to buying a car like this. Boot space is more than you'll find in the Mazda MX-5, and there's just over 220 litres. It's not quite as large or practical as the Audi TT because it has a saloon opening rather than a hatchback, but I was more than pleasantly surprised with the amount I could fit in this boot for a girls' weekend away. I even managed to fit my birthday cake.
Quality of materials has been improved over the GT86 by just the right amount. You'll still find hard plastics in the GR86's cabin, but it's less dated looking than its predecessor, and the bits that your hands and elbows touch are padded, softened and upper in quality. That doesn't mean it isn't dated looking, mind you. Just like my complaints with the Supra, everything just looks a little bit old school. But that could well be intentional, as this car sends you back in time to cars of great and proves that all the love has gone into how it drives rather than how it's styled. Technology could also be considered as a little bit dated. For instance, it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but it's not wireless, and it does have a rear view camera, but it's not the best quality. The touchscreen is simple and easy to use, but it is just that, simple, and it looks quite dated compared to other touchscreens on the market. However, none of this takes away from the enjoyment of the car.
They just don't make cars quite this fun anymore. It feels like it's not quite fully rounded, and that's actually a good thing. Like, there's still a little bit of clunkiness to the gears, there's still a little bit of play in the steering, and also the chassis still feels a little bit firmer than perhaps you'd want for an everyday driver. But all in all, these things aren't a negative to me. In fact, they make me enjoy this car even more. If you thought that involving affordable sports cars were a thing of the past, then you'll find Toyota's GR86 a welcome breath of fresh air. It really is clearly a car which has been built by enthusiasts for enthusiasts, and that really is apparent from the moment that you step in, or in my case, fall inside. The GT86 was a good, if not great, sports car, but this latest generation of GR has perfected the formula, with that stiffer suspension, sharper steering and more powerful engine. The GR86 remains a benchmark in the compact coupe sector, a masterclass in driving dynamics. It really is just such a shame that you can't no longer buy one from new. Well, not really unless you go second hand, and then it's not really the bargain that it rolled out the factory as. I really hope you've enjoyed this video today, guys. What do you think of the GR86? Are you gutted that you didn't get one? Or maybe you did get one. Let me know in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. And if you wanted to see more videos like this, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Until next time, guys, see you later. Could I do donuts? Yes, I could do donuts. Am I going to do donuts? No, probably not when this goes back to Toyota tomorrow. Right, let's get this done.